Hi there, it's Michael Inglis here from the Mind Room, and today I'm going to be talking about the impact of COVID-19 and how isolated we can feel in this time. Isolation is when we feel disconnected from people and our typical environment. It can happen one or two ways. It can be when we selected ourselves, when we're looking for rest and restoration, or when it's forced upon us. And although it might feel disempowering to know that we're being forced to lock down, the way of reframing that is knowing that we're in this together. That if we stay home, we are contributing to not just our own health, but everyone's health around us. But of course, when we are isolated for a long period of time, we can get feelings of loneliness, where we feel completely disconnected from our usual family, friends, and teammates. Loneliness is a feeling of sadness or distress about being by yourself or feeling disconnected from the world. As an increasing number of social restrictions are implemented to mitigate the spread of coronavirus, many people will likely be experiencing a sense of loneliness during this time. It can often make us feel like this, where we have physical lethargy or fatigue, we don't really want to get out of bed, we find it very difficult to train or find motivation. Two major factors to consider when forced to isolate are human interaction and routine. Let's look deeper into these now. Human interaction, basically humans are hardwired to crave human interaction. We're very social creatures. So after our usual basic needs of food, water, shelter, clothing, social interaction is the next essential need for us. And as an athlete in a team, interacting with other people is what you're used to on a daily basis. So getting up with teammates, possibly having breakfast with them, going out for rides, training, doing some sort of recovery together. We're used to that on a day-to-day basis. And without that, we might find that we're feeling lonely. Daily routine. Having a daily routine enables us to be productive, complete necessary tasks, and experience a sense of control. As an athlete, having a routine is something you're familiar with. COVID-19 has prevented many of you from engaging your usual routine, which may invoke feelings of being unsettled and anxious. So again, as I talked about with human interaction, routine is able to be placed upon us by our coach or our staff or teammates when we have a designated time to get up and train in the morning, or designated time to do our strength and conditioning work or recovery, or our meal times even. And sometimes without that being put upon us, we can feel a little bit lost. So how do we go from isolation to connection? The majority of the people you know are experiencing similar feelings, meaning you are not alone in this. Touching base with those who are important to you can have a positive influence on both you and them. So really what we're saying here is feel empowered here to make those social contacts. They're wanting to hear from you and you'll gain something out of this as well. There are a whole lot of online platforms now and phone apps that we can use. Zoom's a really good one for a multiple collaboration between people. We have FaceTime and Skype if we want to Zoom face-to-face. There's also the messenger apps, and also some other ones like House Party. We can play games or do quizzes and so on and so forth. There's different methods of connection as well. It's a spontaneous conversation. There's the checking in support. There might be people in this time that you're feeling concerned about. So using these methods to check in to see how they're going is a really act of kindness, an act of compassion at this point in time. As I said before about House Party, you can do all sorts of type of quizzes and other games interactively. You might be on more the traditional route of sending cards and letters, or maybe things like book clubs where you both read the book at the same time and share the experience and how you found it. You may want to do the same in movies and TV series as well. There are 3 C's to connection, and if you want to do a little exercise right now, get yourself a pen and paper and write down these notes. So contribution, how would you like to contribute to connection this time? Meaning, what can you give to others, but also what are you wanting from yourself in this time? Are there any new skills or new exercises you would like to learn? There's also community too. So write down sometimes who you want to be part of your inner community right now, whether it's your family, friends, particularly your teammates, might be other staff or coaches. Just identify who's in your inner community right now. And lastly, your commitment. So also write down how often or how regularly you can engage with your community and how you would do so. Once you get a clear idea of how much contact you need or want from part of your community, it becomes clear about what you need to do each day and each week. Transferring routine to home. Establish your routine ensures you stay grounded and present in what you're doing during the time of uncertainty. Maintaining a routine and identifying a dedicated training space enables you to sustain your athlete mode. Maintain normality and purpose by upholding your usual routines, be it sleep, training, and meal times. So really, for me, what you usually do in your routine, you try and take this home with you, or take this, if you're in complete isolation, how you can do this inside your own home. Meaning, if you typically get up at 6, 7 o'clock to go training, then you do so. If it's about when you eat, before or afterwards, or what kind of food you take with you, you can do so. Cycling is quite flexible, so you still might be able to go riding outside if there's one or two of you. But also you have the interactive component where you can do virtual training as well. Be resourceful. So go to your usual contacts or connections that can assist you through this. It might be doing teammates. Look, we're ahead of the game in terms of virtual group training, so you can continue doing that. So you can still engage that with training, but also you do other things as well, such as yoga or strength and conditioning or recovery. This could be also time to do a whole lot of strength and conditioning work. You mentioned in my last session, you might be doing some sort of pre-season right now in this time because you're not racing. Here's a time to get those rehabilitation exercises, those strength exercises. So you might have a particular coach you can go to with that. Coaches might give you some specific technical drills. I think technical drills is often forgotten in cycling. So these are times to practice it, maybe descending, cornering, whatever that might be. And if you want to increase your mental game, contact your sports psychologist or someone who can teach you these attention and focus type exercises. So overall, there's still much we can do in terms of being proactive, in terms of our human connection and being connected to our world. Although we are in isolation, we don't have to be in complete social isolation. And also we can maintain our routines, maintain our athlete mode in terms of training and transfer that to the household. Hope this was useful and you can write down some of these tips at home. See you next time. Thanks.